now tuned into This Korean Life with your hosts, Brian and Nate.
111. Let us begin. Welcome back to another episode of This Korean Life, number 111, with Zac Hestand. This is your third one.
Third time's a charm.
And last time you were in, Nate was just asking. Last time you were in, I believe it was pre-graduation.
That's correct.
Yeah, you've now, since you've been in last time, you graduated. And part of your Point Park graduation, by the way, I think my Hollow Point Park joke was very underappreciated, but...
It'll age like a fine wine.
Yes. Someone will look back in years and appreciate that. Anyways, I think part of your graduation requirements were to write your own screenplay and present it, correct?
That's right. Everyone had to present a thesis during our final residency, which is during the summer semester.
Yeah.
So for your thesis, you can either write a full-length screenplay, a stage play, or any other dramatic medium like a television pilot or, whatever. Okay. So I picked screenplay for mine.
Okay. What was the minimum requirements for that? Yours is 90 pages?
Mine's 98 pages.
Jesus. Yeah.
So it's different depending on what you do. For a screenplay, the recommendation is between 90 to 110 pages.
That's for a standard movie?
That's a standard movie.
Really?
Well, the standard length is 90 to 110, but some movies go over, obviously, that requirement.
Interesting.
And some go under. But instructors and professional writers always say, try to keep it within that range because it's more marketable that way.
Okay.
Because if it's way over, nobody wants to read it. It better be mind-blowing.
Yeah. And
if it's too short, it seems like you're not prepared or you're struggling to make it to a full-length feature.
So this, I don't watch a ton of movies, but what was one of those ones back in the day that was like 3 hours? Over 3 hours, and you're like, whoa, like it's way
Godfather?
too long.
Godfather, yeah.
Sure. I mean, there's a few of them that
there's
were just,
lot, yeah.
Wow, it feels like you're in the theater for half a day.
Avatar.
But they're...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like those, it could have been
Titanic.
30 minutes shorter.
Yeah. Now, for guys like that, like for Avatar, the reason he can get away with it is because he's James Cameron. He's established.
From Niagara Falls.
Well, is that where he's from? Really? Yeah. Oh, okay. But guys who are established have a bit more leeway because they've already proven themselves to be good storytellers. But guys starting out 100% have to stick within that guideline.
You don't want to come off right out of the...
You don't want to be trying to be the new Joe Rogan of screenplays?
No.
Because before it was the same, right? And TV shows, I believe, were the same. Or sorry, not TV shows, music.
Which one?
Right? Freddie Mercury came out with 9 minutes and they're like, what the hell is this?
Oh, Bohemian
Songs have to be 3 minutes to 3.5 minutes or people don't listen to them because they can't play on the radio. Right? So this is the same kind of thing you're talking about for screenplays?
Well, yeah.
Not marketable?
Well, yeah, especially when you're new, it's not marketable, and that's a huge financial risk for like a big studio. We're like, because movies are already expensive enough to market, to get butts in seats in a movie theater. Yeah. So you gotta get in. I forget the expression, but lean and mean is what your story should be.
Sure.
Lean and mean.
So what does it say if you wanted to make something just efficient or powerful that was 70 minutes? That's not long enough for the theater. We'll put this on a different kind of platform?
Well, they still get made. It's just that the 90 to 110 is the standard. Because once you sell your script to a studio, it now belongs to the studio. They can add or subtract as much as they want.
And this is your first time at bat, too. You want to stay within the guidelines.
That's right.
Get comfortable with it.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about in general. Like if you make it and it's... what did you say? How many pages?
Like 90 to 110.
Yeah. So if you're at 80, you're like, I got to add 10 more. Like, no, don't
sexy.
Add. When you're doing your high school papers, and you're like, shit, it's got to be 20 and I got to only get 17. You're like, where can I add a couple words here and there?
Believe it or not, it's easy to fill in those pages. The challenge is actually, limiting yourself. Like, whoa, I better scale back.
Yeah. Interesting. Awesome.
How did you choose to do the screenplay over a stage play or some of these other things?
This was just because one of the goals in Point Park is during those 2 years they want all students to build a writing portfolio. So at that point in my portfolio, I had 3 feature-length screenplays already, and I just feel that was the strongest work I had among my portfolio. So that's what made me decide that.
Oh, you had written that previously, or you used that?
I did, yeah. I wrote it. So the thesis presentation was in May 2023. I wrote that script in the fall semester of 2022.
Okay.
And then just did a lot of rewriting, editing.
Okay, that's one of my questions here for you. Like, what's from first draft to last draft? How different does that look?
Oh, vastly different. I mean, there's like page lengths are different. Originally, the script was like, I think 3 pages longer.
Okay.
So I cut at least 3 pages. I even added more scenes. I took out scenes. I added more action sequences. What else? Changed a lot of dialogue.
Okay.
And even the start is completely different too.
Oh,
Yeah. So it's just like night and day from what it originally was.
the premise, you mean? Like the
No. The like what happens in the beginning.
Okay.
Not the premise. The premise has always been the same.
Okay. Do you mean
The actual content inside.
Were they going to a different place? Or was it?
No, it was always, English teachers in Korea going to the countryside.
Sure,
like that was always the premise. It was just the approach changes.
Okay.
Like
I gotcha. I made a note here. You have great insight into Korea. You perfectly encapsulate the feeling of being a young foreign teacher. The part even with the abandoned bus station, and they look up and there's like a faded '88 Olympics poster. Fantastic. The one kid who's always trying to get laid.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah, at one point he takes out he's got those little sex cards that they put in your windows. Right. He takes one of those out. And I think for people who don't live here, that might be like, what's a sex? I can't remember what you called it, but
It was a phone sex line.
a phone sex. Yeah. Because if you don't live here, you'll park your car somewhere downtown, and then you'll come back out, go home, or you're on your way home, and you'll see like those little
Business cards.
and you can
Not
call
even
it.
like when I
Air quotes baseball cards.
Baseball cards, yeah.
when I was in, like, man, they were throwing them out on the way to school. Like that was the problem here with residential and everything being all in the same neighborhoods, like where it's not separated all your different areas. You walk to school and the kids are seeing these sexy girl topless cards on the way to school. Like, that's not okay, man.
It's not
for,
okay.
for
What
little
about
kids.
what about their phones?
Well, this was before. I mean, 10 years ago.
Oh,
It wasn't about. And grade 1 kids aren't looking at porn on their phones. I mean,
Yeah, smartphones weren't as prevalent in that time.
Sure.
so.
Good. Do you want to walk us through your creative process at all? I think we might have touched on this last time, but for one more time for the new audience, how do you write? What do? You sit down? You're a morning writer, you're an evening, afternoon, during dinner?
Well, it depends. I'm usually like during Point Park, I was an after dinner writer because I just worked during the day.
Okay.
So nighttime, like 7 p.m. to like 10 p.m. would be work time.
Okay.
For that. So, but these days it can be whenever. It can be the afternoon. It can be the morning. I don't have a set time of day.
Okay.
I just, my thing is I have a set amount of time. It's usually about 3 hours is like the maximum that I would spend on something in one day.
Do you quarantine yourself in a room and like, I'm not leaving for 3 hours? You bring a piss bottle and whatnot?
Well, not that extreme. I mean, I do close myself off in a little office I have at home.
Okay.
And I put some headphones on, and I always listen to music.
Okay.
When I write, also,
Cool.
'Cause I can't have complete silence.
What do you listen to?
It depends on like what I'm writing. Like for this, I listen to a lot of
Bee Gees?
That one I just pulled out of the air. I just think, like, what's a 70s group that a young person wouldn't listen to? All right, the Bee Gees.
Sure.
And they fortunately had appropriate songs for the moment. But for this particular script, I listened to a lot of music that had synth to it, like John Carpenter scores, or I might listen to a lot of heavy metal, or punk music, anything aggressive.
It's not distracting for you?
Not at all. It actually helps relax my brain. It actually helps me to concentrate too.
Cool.
So, I mean, everyone's different, but that works for me.
Awesome. It's like when a normal person takes Ritalin, they don't they go bananas? But if you're ADHD and you take it and it relaxes,
it makes you a zombie. Actually,
sure.
Yeah.
What would be an efficient session? How much could you write in a good session?
Well, if ignoring the whole like pre-writing process, if I was at like chapter 1 or fade in, a good day could be anywhere from like 5 to 7 pages. In just one sitting.
Wow.
And how long to get your 90 to 110? I mean, not, 7 pages time now, but in general, if you were going to try and write 90 to 100 pages, what does that look like? Months?
Semester?
It looks like one semester.
One semester.
Or think of it like an entire season. Like it might take an entire winter or an entire spring.
Interesting.
For just first draft.
Where do you have all your major plot points before you start writing, or are you figuring that out? Are you making the situations and like, okay, how my character is going to get out of it?
I'm a big pre-writer. So regardless of the medium, if I'm writing, let's say, a stage play, a short story, I always prep before I even begin writing any type of story. Sure. I make a list of goals for every character's, like what's their emotional goal, their physical goal, psychological goal. I write character biographies just to help flesh them out. Character monologues. I write also for this sort of thing. I wrote something called a treatment. It's where you write down everything that's going to happen in your script in block paragraph form. But a treatment is much shorter than this would be. My treatment for this was only 4 pages. And I told everything that was going to happen in those 98 pages in 4 pages.
Awesome.
So you don't put any dialogue or anything. Just like character goes to the kitchen, this thing happens. He goes to the supermarket and he meets this type of person.
And then maybe you're referencing that before you go in for a writing session. You're looking like, okay, I'm on.
Yeah, I always look at those, as I'm writing, just to like remember as well, because I can only store so much information in my brain, so I always have to have those laying around.
Seems like there's a lot of back writing. I mean, we see your screenplay, but I mean, there's pages and pages and probably books of, like you said, character development and whatnot that goes into that.
So there's like the treatment thing, the goal thing, the character monologue. There's also like the treatment, as I mentioned. There's a lot of pre-writing that goes in before I begin actual writing.
How when you get writer's block, or how do you work through your sticky points?
That's where walking comes in handy. It could either be just me pacing around in my room thinking, what's a good thing for this guy to say? Or actually leaving my apartment, go to a park somewhere and just be out in nature. So I find that to be the most helpful tool to get through writer's block.
What's the longest amount of time you'd be frozen for?
Not that long. Usually once I get back from my walk, I can write out what I was struggling with, because something could like hit me during that walk.
So you're never stuck for a few days or?
No. Not yet. If I'm stuck for a few days, it's just simply motivating myself to sit down and write. It's always like, I want to go to the grocery store, or I want to watch TV, or something dumb to prevent me from writing.
Clean the house, whatnot.
Clean the house, that's usually the only thing that prevents me from sitting down to write, or those distractions.
Sure.
Do you think, when I think of writing, I mean, for a lot of people, I think it's not exciting, maybe. Do you think if we were all taught how to write properly, like for this kind of stuff, that you could bring people to the other side?
Yeah, because I find this, I mean, though it's a lot of work, it's also so much fun.
It sounds like you have fun.
Unbelievable amount of fun.
It sounds like you have fun doing it. But I think if you asked most people to write 10 pages, like, whoa. But if you had the knowledge you have or the process, do you think that would change a lot of us?
I think so, because not only like just classwork, I've also got into the habit of reading a lot of books about writing, reading scripts in my spare time or just novels just to be inspired or see like how other writers did this. And YouTube is a great source. I especially recommend the channel Film Courage. They have a lot of writers on there who give advice on how to market your work or the process of how to create characters or any other aspect of the writing process.
Awesome.
But no, that's like my 2 cents. That is the best channel to learn about writing is Film Courage.
Because I think when like lots of people say, "Hey, you should write a book. You should write a book. You should write a book." Oh, you should write, like Dennis. How do you just? Okay, I'm going to write a book.
Well, it's the same as running a marathon. You got to
prep.
You got
I think it's a little more complex than writing a marathon, but. I mean, you might not have the resources to get the right coaching or training. I guess now it's all on YouTube, but everybody's different. Everybody thinks a different way, writes a different way. But there's a lot of people that do just out of the blue come up with books. And I wonder, for the average guy,
ghostwriter.
Yeah, how to get them to that level.
For me, like it was an MFA. I think I consider Point Park one of the best decisions I've ever made because I am far more diligent in writing because of this school, because they gave me so many good habits of like, all right, I'm going to try to write this many days a week or try for this or, whatever, make goals.
Oh, and it's the new year, so.
Yeah, and new year too, new possibilities.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. What you wrote, your screenplay is called Bloodhouse, appropriately titled.
Thank you.
Yeah, which elements of the horror genre did you want to include? Were there any must-have or dream scenes in your script?
Well, for me, this was my homage to slasher movies.
Okay.
I think that's probably one of my favorite subgenres of horrors, slasher movies, and especially the 80s slasher movies.
Okay.
So people might say, like, where do you get your ideas from? Well, there's more than one place to get ideas from. Mine is more, I might read something I like and think, what's something fresh I can add to it? What's something different? So that's where the whole setting in Korea came from. Like, that's different. I've never seen a movie like that.
Dude, it feels like you're in Korea. And it feels like a real situation that your director would throw you into. Because you find yourself here in a bunch of weird situations sometimes. And that's a very believable situation.
Thank you.
I like it. You chose very stereotypical characters, jocks, who are bullies. Aiden, always trying to get laid.
That's right.
Was this so the viewer can better focus on the story, or because it's common to the horror genre?
Can you say that last part again?
Like, did you choose the simplified characters so the person who's reading can immediately identify with them, or is this maybe, like you said, a trend in horror genres?
Well, this is one of those things where like all writing has some form of cliche present.
Sure.
And this is just one of those cliches that everybody who's a horror fan likes. They love seeing, the brain dead jock or, the puny nerdy guy, the sexy girl, the final girl.
Yeah.
These are just common tropes. That would be like this type of trope in an action movie where, like, guy has his last day before retirement and he dies.
Sure,
and it's part of just get revenge. Like, that's been around for forever, but we still love those cliches.
Sure.
So
Absolutely.
I wanted to include those specific cliches because that's just given a nod to that particular genre, but put him in a new situation, like put him in Korea, or have this guy have this type of characteristic, or what have you.
Well, you got the guy who's drinking, the piss bags that love getting drunk. Then you got a Gyopo in there too.
That's right. That's our hero. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's fantastic. I noticed when I was reading, you have very informal descriptions and notes throughout. For example, like. well, I think at one point Vapor hits the go. I forget her name.
Oh, Yumi.
Yumi, yeah, hits Yumi's hand, and you wrote like in the script it says she opened the door with her fucked up hand. Mm-hmm. And there's another one like, sorry about the spoiler, but Vapor punches Aiden's head off. Holy shit. Like, is that common to read? Like, if I read the, not Titanic script, but if I read another, whatever, not serious movie script, would you see informal notes and stuff like that?
You would see that in a lot of scripts, especially stuff from the last, I want to say, like 35 or 40 years.
Okay.
You would see more of that. I mean, old stuff from the 50s, you wouldn't. Much more technical.
Okay.
And it's a more outdated format, but it's still important to read those things just to see where scripts come from. But a lot of these days, you will see more like humor in the script and more like writing with flair.
Is that in hopes of getting your script picked up?
This is to make you stand out and show that you have a voice.
Okay.
That's
to
right.
convey or to get across your personality, saying you're putting your personal touch on it.
Right. I could give you, let's say, 5 scripts. Now, they're going to have certain formatting things that will be the same, like interior kitchen day.
Okay.
Like they'll all have that.
That's int?
INT. That's interior.
What does that mean? Oh, like you're inside? Oh, okay,
yeah.
I gotcha.
And exterior, EXT, is just outside.
Makes sense.
So all scripts, all movie and TV scripts will have those headings, which are called slug lines.
Okay.
So they all have that. It's just the action lines are what changes. That's when you can show your voice and paint a picture with words to hook the reader in.
Yeah, I like it. The elements in your story. Like you got montages, foreshadowing, flashback, a lot of suspense building. Do you kind of pre-plan those? Do you have like a checklist? Like I want a foreshadowing. I want to include some foreshadowing. I want 3 montages. I need a flashback to tell an origin story. Are those boxes you have to check, or do those emerge naturally?
Those emerge naturally. Like the things like montages aren't in any of the pre-writing notes. That just comes like,
It's a good way to convey or to get that part of the story across.
Yeah. And also, they say that a writer shouldn't direct the script because they're not the director, but occasionally you can have some minor things in there. Like I have like montage and a POV, like point of view. Oh. So that's just my own little minimal like directing techniques in that particular script.
Yes, the part that's in parts I loved, the Vapor POV scenes. The fantastic. I can imagine like looking through his mask. Maybe you can hear the breathing and whatnot. I like it.
Thanks, sir.
Would there be any other way other than flashback to tell the Vapor origin story?
That's something that was not in the original draft. That was something that emerged from a rewrite.
Like it was perfect, and I thought that's the only way you could possibly do that. What did you have originally?
Oh, I had 0 flashbacks. Just like I had originally, maybe I think it was townspeople just gossiping amongst themselves, like, "Oh, that Vapor guy, he lives in that shack in the woods." Blah 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 blah. That's all I had before.
Okay. Well, that's still present in the story. You get the people mumbling and grumbling about it, and especially Agma, the old lady. Where do those ideas come from?
Well, we all had to read scripts within our genre before we started writing. So there was like a combination of things that came from that. Like for slasher stuff, the scripts that stood out to me were for Friday the 13th Part 2. Okay. Because in that one, Jason lives in a shack in the woods. Also, more current from the early 2000s is the movie Wrong Turn. Okay. Have you seen that one?
No.
So Wrong Turn's about a bunch of big city people who get into a car accident in West Virginia. Okay. And they get attacked by inbred cannibal hillbillies.
Oh, maybe I have seen that. Oh, no, that's...
that came out 20 years ago, I think. I don't remember.
Is that similar to Wolf Creek?
Maybe
It sounds like a similar one.
Maybe big city people attacked by scary country people.
Sure,
yeah. It's a similar thing. So
Yeah.
those two stand out of big inspirations, and also Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Sure.
Especially the inside the cabin with the trophies. air
Okay,
quotes.
yeah.
That was big inspiration.
Sure.
And I'm a fan also of hybrid horror, like horror comedy or horror sci-fi.
Okay.
So my thought is, what we don't have enough of, and this is again adding to the whole fresh perspective, horror action. So that's where the whole Yumi being a martial artist comes in. Like, all right, what if the final girl knew, like, Muay Thai? What would happen? And that's where that idea sprang from, that whole what if thing.
And you do have elements of sci-fi in there with the Agma there, given the Jungi.
Oh, that's the magic stuff.
Yeah.
Well, that's also another subgenre of horror. I love things involving like witchcraft or demon type stuff.
Yep. And a really cool ending too, because we gotta wait for number 2 now.
Yeah, that inspiration was partially Friday the 13th Part 6.
Okay.
Did you see that one?
No, I didn't.
So Part 6 is two dorky guys go to the cemetery where Jason Voorhees is buried. And they're like, I got to make sure he's dead. Why? I don't know. Yeah. Lightning strikes his grave. Okay. And he's a Frankenstein zombie superpowered killer now. Okay. And that's where that idea came from.
And one note about your final scene. Was there any inspiration behind that? Because I have your final.
You mean the actual, like the last?
No, sorry, but I apologize. Not the final scene is what you just explained, but just before that, when it's day. I mean, first of all, it ends in daytime, which I found pretty unique. Usually, it's a dark and stormy night, and someone's getting chopped up, but the narrative comes to an end in the daytime, right? She jumps in the car or whatnot,
right?
Are you paying any homage to Rob Zombie?
If you mean for when she gets away?
Yeah, Devil's Rejects.
No, actually, no. That was also Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because the girl gets out of that crazy house.
Yeah,
she's all bloodied up, and she's like, I can't believe I got out.
Okay.
Yeah. That was my inspiration for that ending.
When I was reading it, I thought about Devil's Rejects and them cruising in the car. They're all bloodied and whatnot, but they're cruising in the car and they're listening to another classic 70s hit. I think they might be listening to Freebird.
Okay. It's been a while since I watched that one.
I was like, oh, maybe this was inspired. And you taught us the word homage years ago when you came in the first time. But parts I loved, the believable and likely scenarios. The villain gets stronger with every kill. Awesome. Dude, he comes back, he's like super vapor, and he just starts mashing people. Vapor POV scenes. Suspense and anxiety, I felt like... I don't know how you do it, but when... what's the name? Who's the girl that gets killed while her friends are at the store near the end?
Oh, that's Miranda.
She's getting smoked inside the house, and her friends are out at the store, and they're on their way home, and you're like, oh no, they're walking right into this. Oh no, they're walking right into it, and then the one guy ends up getting smushed. But that was awesome, man. I felt like the anxiety and whatnot, and maybe this is an element of the horror genre, but. Like the story, the narrative is progressing, and then it just stops, and it's like, and Vapor's in the shed, like sharpening his shit, and then it keeps going, and then Vapor's in the shed, like putting the head on the shelf. I like that. I enjoyed that, man.
Thank you.
Yes.
Where does this go from now? This is finalized now.
Well, this was my thesis presentation. So presenting it to people.
You read the whole thing?
No. I didn't read the whole thing. My professor found actors to do a live reading of it, and that's
the whole thing.
The whole thing, yeah.
Holy shit!
So that's what all the thesis readings are. You get actors to read every part, and somebody to read all the stage directions in front of an audience.
Oh, that's incredible. Oh, that's
How big is the audience?
Yeah.
Let's see. The theater was inside a library, so the actual space wasn't huge, but I saw in the theater a lot of my classmates, my family came, and also some strangers were there too that I've never seen before.
I was going to say, is this like fellow students and guys who also want to gain other experience from listening?
Well, some are classmates. Yeah. Others are just complete strangers who came because we also had to market our thesis reading to the public. So a lot of non-Point Park students were there.
What does Mom think about vapor chopping heads off in a Bloodhouse?
Well, I apologize because also during the thesis presentation we have to introduce our work. Just give a little 2-minute presentation.
Sure.
All the actors read the script, and then at the end I have to go up and do a Q&A.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that's that.
How long is the reading of this?
Well, our cap is 2 hours, so we had to have all of this done in 2 hours.
Okay.
So the cast did a great job, and they did it, I think, in 1 hour 38 minutes.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
So how you said your professor sourced some actors or actresses? Right. How does that work?
Well,
and how do you get to interview them or flush them out first, or you get to see samples of their work or how they read it? Or
well, for mine, every actor was an undergraduate theater major at that school, so that's where a lot of the actors came from. They're just
that's a great way to do it.
Undergrads. And as terms of interviewing them, that would only be if I was directing the stage reading, but somebody else did.
Okay.
Another undergrad theater major, directed my piece, so he knows how all those actors worked and their style.
So you sit down and meet with him regularly, often, never? Sometimes?
We did, with the director, I did one Zoom call with him before we did the reading, and we do 1 3-hour rehearsal before we present it. So I could just watch them perform, and if they had any questions, they can ask me. What does X, Y mean?
What if you don't like the way they're portraying the character? It's not what you had in mind, or... How do you address hey, I'm volunteer, buddy. Get someone else.
Well, in this case, that's
or like, director, you're fired. This isn't what I was thinking.
Well, something like that. That's not my job as a writer to do that. That's completely the director's job to guide the actors to give a good performance.
But one Zoom call, you can get all of what you're thinking, or it doesn't matter. It's not really what you think. You just give the script, and he kind of interprets it however he wants.
Well, we would just talk back and forth. I would talk about what I'm trying to get across. We talk about the tone of the story. Like, is it done for laughs? Is it serious? Like, how should it be presented? So, yeah, all those pre-planning things before we actually start the rehearsal.
How was the rehearsal?
Oh, it was great.
Have you been to these things before? Like, had you gone and seen someone else's before?
No. This was the first time I've ever been to a live reading.
So everything was
just fresh and new to me. Yeah.
So you don't know what it's like, or what was it like when you watched the rehearsal? What were you thinking?
Well, first,
this is awesome, or holy shit,
it's both. It's mixed. It's both awesome that your work's going to be presented, but then you also feel slightly awkward, because it's people reading things that you wrote out loud.
Yeah.
So you still
in front of your parents,
in front of classmates, friends, strangers. Yeah. So there is a bit of some awkwardness right there.
Sure, but I think, I don't know, man. You got a good piece of work there, and I think you should be more proud than
I am. But I mean, you still feel a little nervous, but the more you do it, the more comfortable it becomes.
Yeah.
When you see the rehearsal, is there parts that you think you want to change still?
I think that with everything I write, and I'm even going to. I don't know if this year or whenever. I'm already planning to do a big rewrite on Bloodhouse.
Really?
Oh yeah. So I'm just gonna read it again, make any changes I think it's necessary.
Is that your baby?
That's one of my babies.
Yeah.
I have many babies.
Okay,
I got a lot of kids.
All right. Very cool, dude.
So once that you present that and where's it at now? Is that just in the portfolio now, and you whip it out later when?
Right now, it's just in the portfolio.
And is there any plans for it?
Well, yeah. There's the big rewrite for it, and once I feel
is it Bloodhouse or
Bloodhouse?
This is Bloodhouse. Okay. Yeah. There's one rewrite, and then And then after the rewrite, I just got to figure out what to do next. Do I try to direct it myself? Do I find a way to like raise money? Do I try to sell it to somebody? So it just depends on which direction I want to go with it.
Do you have a preference of what happens with it?
Well, if I got to control my own destiny, do whatever I want, I would direct it myself, and there'd be a money tree where I can just get all the dollars I need to like make this.
What do you think? We talked about Halloween 1 being completely made for what, 300 grand?
300,000.
300 grand. What would you estimate your movie to take?
Well, I mean, cameras are a lot cheaper these days. I mean, this could maybe be 500,000 or 600,000.
Reasonable.
How much was the Blair Witch?
20. 28, I think.
$20. I don't know.
When you said direct it myself, I was like, is this like the Blair Witch? Or is it...
Dude, but I mean, those it could pop like that.
Well, that's
hasn't. Sorry to cut you off. Hasn't there been some low budget horror movies shot on iPhones?
Yeah, I can't remember. The names are totally escaping me, but yeah, that's been done. And I mean, shorts and feature length. There have been movies shot on iPhones.
Yeah.
Well, and digital cameras are much cheaper these days. Sure. And
so, in your thoughts, are you thinking like the big cinema, or are you thinking like more homemade?
I'm just happy to get it out. I mean, if it's in a theater, great. If it's straight to streaming, great. If it's on YouTube, great. As long as it's out there, that's all that matters.
But for the first one like that, like I think that would be cool to just do it yourself and go through that whole experience of whether it's 20 grand or 200 grand, and you got to take a couple loans or something. I think it'd be pretty cool to do it yourself, and then you at least you have that to base everything else off of. That's the benchmark. And now we know, okay, I want to do a real production, or this was kind of cool, and I learned a lot. I know how to fix them up and make them better.
Yeah, I like to do the whole like DIY thing first, just to have the full control, just to see like I can do this, and then see what happens afterwards. It's just, the whole process is what the adventure is.
Do you think a feature length one would be the one to start with for a do-it-yourself, or would you? I mean, naturally, I would think maybe
for this one,
maybe a 20 or 30 minute short or something would be.
For this one, no. This would be later. I mean, for the first thing, it's audio drama. That would be the first DIY project to put out,
and that's what's coming up.
Well, let's roll in Splatter Day Morning Productions. Like Splatter Day Morning Productions. That gives me a feeling of like 1994. Gonna wake up and watch Tales from the Crypt that I taped from the night before because I was too young to stay up. Splatter Day Morning Productions. Do give us a little. And that's the YouTube handle, by the way.
That's the YouTube handle. Yeah. So the YouTube handle is just that Splatter Day Morning Productions is home for horror, sci-fi, and any genre-based content. So it's still early days, but that's what the focus on it is.
So you hope to encourage other people to post on there as well?
In the future, yes.
Cool.
I mean, for now, it's just the home to the audio drama, but as time goes by, I hope to include other people's projects on there.
Fantastic. Can you give us a brief summary of what it's about?
Sure. So the audio drama is about a farmer in Corpus Christi, Texas, who has a worm farm, and he is going to be interviewed on a podcast because he claims that his worms can hear sound waves that will lead them to gold.
Okay.
So he's embarrassed that he's going to be on this show, and while he's complaining to his wife, a meteor crashes outside his barn. The meteor cracks, and an orange goo comes out. It infects his worms. The worms mutate and become these parasitic monsters who possess human bodies, zombifying them and making them crave human livers.
This sounds like Ninja Turtles meets Scientology.
Does Soju aid in the process of coming up with these wild ideas, or what?
I don't know where this came from. In all honesty, I'm a big fan of 1950s B movies. And I watched so many horror sci-fi movies made in the 80s also. So this is kind of my like love letter to those type of movies.
Yeah.
But also, again, to go back earlier, what's something new I can add to it? So
Yeah.
making an audio drama, that's new. Or the main hero is a podcaster and his crew, that's different.
Nice. Nate, you can be Vapor and the hero.
There you go. 2 birds, 1 stone.
So give us maybe a timeline of how this came about.
Sure. Okay. So I took a class in the fall of 2022 at Point Park where we had to develop what's called pitch decks and series Bibles. These are just formal outlines to learn how to do different mediums outside of movie scripts and stage plays.
Okay.
So we learned how to do outlines for like graphic novels, animated series, video games, and the thing that stood out most to me was audio drama and narrative podcasts. I had no idea this was a thing,
Dude,
at all.
theater of the mind.
I had no
Fantastic.
idea this was a thing. I'm like, what? Because at that point, I only knew of podcasts as just like interviewing or talking about things like sports programs, movie talk, or whatever, right? But like radio drama type stuff in the 2020s, no. Because seriously, my brain exploded, and then. As we prepare our stuff, we also have to read scripts and listen to things. So I listened to a few, and I'm like, oh, wow, this is great. This is great. And Professor mentioned that, hey, if you guys ever want to do a post-MFA project, best DIY one to do is a narrative podcast or audio drama because it's the cheapest.
Yeah.
Movies are so expensive to make. Even stage plays cost a lot to make, but
Microphone's cheap, dude.
you just need a microphone, some, editing software.
Willing participants.
And willing participants. That's right. So at the end of that semester in the spring, we have an optional class of doing an independent study. So I decided to take on some extra work, and I pitched an idea to my professor. I want to create an audio drama. So the goal of just the spring semester of this year, 2023, was make first drafts of all 6 episodes. And that was from January until the end of April. So the first drafts were that period. Took a bit of a break.
Yeah.
Spent the summer doing some rewrites, and I even workshopped the first 2 episodes in the Ulsan Writers Group just to get some feedback. But no, I gutted those scripts. And no, a true rewrite to listeners out there is more than just fixing your typos or correcting a sentence. A true rewrite is you delete the entire Word document and start from the beginning. That is a rewrite.
Oh my God.
So that's what I did. And
You delete it, or you just kind of put it on the side?
No, I erased the whole thing and started from scratch.
Whoa.
That's how I rewrite everything. I've even did that to last semester a screenplay. I deleted the whole thing and started from scratch.
A glutton for pain.
Oh yeah,
Jeez,
but trust me, that is the best way to rewrite anything because that whole new version's way better. It's so different because I delete like entire characters, gutted whole scenes,
And it's just what exists in your mind. You want to? Does that help boil down? Boil it down to like the essence of the story?
Yeah, it does. And you can also find things that in hindsight just didn't really work.
Yeah. Or
you can find dialogue you think is clunky, or this character doesn't work, we just need to get rid of them.
So by deleting it all, you just start from scratch.
Start from scratch. Yeah. So that's what I did over the summer, is like starting the whole thing from scratch. And then in the fall, that's when we got the ball rolling. Of actually, getting this
Starting
made.
to record.
Just going back, 6 episodes? How long are these? I have no idea. An audio drama. What my only reference points are Ryan Estrada and the stuff that he's done. I think did you know him before?
No,
We mentioned him
only
last time,
virtually. Yeah,
I think, and he's into a lot of this stuff, and he does the Busan super short film. And all those kind of things.
He's on the radio too, and I think he does some Shakespeare.
He does some really cool stuff.
Way, cool.
And when I heard that you have all local people performing this, it immediately made me think of him and how he sources his guys locally and just people in the community, and what a cool way to bring people together. But how long is an episode of an audio drama?
They're much shorter than a TV show. Like, let's say a sitcom, for example, script might be between 20 to 30 pages. Like, that's one episode of a sitcom. A drama, like a 60-minute drama you might see on TV or Netflix, would be maybe close to 60 pages. So with an audio drama, it can be anywhere from, let's say, 10 to 20 pages for like one episode.
Okay.
So my scripts are for this program are all between like 10 to 13 pages.
It's all dialogue.
Mostly all dialogue and sound effects.
Okay. And that's where we bring in the magic man behind the curtain.
That's right.
The Wizard of Oz.
That's
the
right.
Wizard of Niz.
The Wizard of Niz. That's right. The Wizard of Niz.
Nice.
That would be a great handle for him right there.
The Wizard of Niz.
So you got to the fall. Mm-hmm. These are pretty set now. You're happy with the
Yeah, I'm happy with what I have. But also, little secret, even when you're recording these things, you're still rewriting.
Right.
Because even during recording, I like erased entire dialogue, wrote new things for like people to read. So I mean, the rewriting never stops.
It sounds like Cheney doing the producing of the songs.
Yeah.
No, let's do it again. Let's change this. Let's do it again. Let's change this. Just always a
So yeah, a
work
lot
in
of
progress.
that happened. Yeah.
And how do you, once you're ready, you said you flushed it out with the writers group. Mm-hmm. How it, just maybe a sidetrack, how is that going? Is there a lot of people coming to that, or I'm trying to lead into how did you get the characters? Is that through the writing group, or
You mean like how did I cast people?
yeah,
or-
how did you cast?
Oh, no. For casting people, it was a combination of just putting a post on Ulsan Online just to see if there
I
were
saw
any
that, yeah.
actors. So
I was
that's
wondering
one.
because I didn't see it. That's why I was asking.
No, so I put a post on Ulsan Online. I even took suggestions from friends who were involved in making this podcast, like, contact blah, 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 and see if they'd be interested in this part. And then once I got all the pieces set, then I would make attempts to do Zoom calls with people, and we would just talk about the script, talk if they have any questions about things they don't understand or whatever.
Yep.
And also give a sample read just so I can see how they sound reading it out loud, because it's the whole. I know how it sounds in my head, but it's completely different when you read it out loud.
Sure. That's and all of the actors that applied made it.
They all made it, so I am super happy, super happy. A talented group, Ulsan. We have a lot of talent in this
A lot
town.
of hidden gems.
I was going to say the pool is probably limited here. How do you? Are you prepared to let somebody know that maybe they don't fit?
Surprisingly, not as limited as I thought. Because as soon as I posted that ad on Ulsan Online, I had the whole thing cast in like 15 minutes.
No shit.
Like, I'm not joking. My phone blew up after I posted.
No
I was
way.
shocked.
Really?
I thought it would take like a day or two. No, but it was like
A day or two. I would think it would take a week or two.
or longer.
Christ.
Well,
Holy
yeah,
man.
more than 24 hours at least. But no, 15 minutes. I had the whole thing cast. I was even mentioning to the crew, I'm like, well, that was fast. I got everything all taken care of.
Oh my god.
I had no idea there'd be so much interest. It blew my mind.
That's incredible.
Are these mostly guys who've been here a long time, or a little bit of everything?
For the most part, yeah. Everyone involved is, I guess you could say, a vet of some sort. They've been in Ulsan for X number of years. Some people have acting experience already. Others, it's the first time doing something like this. So it's a nice range of people involved.
And you're directing everyone as well, right?
That's right. I took up the directing duties. So this is my first time directing. And again, Film Courage. They have a lot of great lectures on how to direct actors, like what to say, what not to say, what to avoid.
Suck. You'll never make it.
It's like, there was one video I watched where actors share worst notes they've ever been given by directors.
Yeah.
One actor said, I'm not joking, a director actually told me, be more handsome.
Oh no!
Danny Kessler, grow more hair.
Yeah, grow it.
How? I'm like, what? Okay. Don't
that's
tell
funny.
people to be more handsome or pretty. Okay, got it.
Oh Lord, that's funny. Sorry, you have a face for audio dramas.
So back to this was just based on like either people contacting you regarding the post you made or recommending their friends or something?
Yeah, it was a combination of the two things, like people responding to the ad and just recommendations from friends.
How many actors and what's the male to female ratio?
There are only 2 female performers, and I think 7 or 8 males. I think there's 9 total.
Cool.
That's quite a bit.
Are you in it too?
Yes. I won't say who. I'm uncredited.
So
You have to guess who I am.
The Ulsan, I think it used to be Ulsan Industrial Theater Troupe. Is that right? I'm pretty sure, yeah.
I think
Ulsan
so.
Industrial Theater Troupe.
I think so, yeah.
They did a couple performances way back when, and I don't know who's still left, but Patrick was one of the main guys, and he was, I think the last one I saw was Scrooge.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell?
Like
At a high school in Bungo or Buku somewhere?
like a Christmas Carol?
Grinch.
Like that
Like
one?
Grinch. Yeah, Christmas Carol. Yes,
Christmas
it
Carol.
was
Okay.
Christmas Carol. And he was the main guy, and he was awesome. And I was like, wow.
Oh yeah, he's an incredible actor.
And it was such a shame when that kind of disbanded because there was a lot of talented people. I was like, wow, these are like just, the guys we hang out with. And man, when they do something they're passionate about, it was awesome. And not just like somebody wanted to do the stage building or construction or sets or whatever, but everybody has, these talents. Just like we say when we go to City Hall there, these aren't just immigrant wives or married ladies. They all have abilities and skills, and we have to let them use them.
Everybody's got their own talent for whatever, so that's so true.
So what if you had, sorry, what was the test again? You had them do a read through?
Well, just we had a little interview by Zoom. Well,
If I responded, how does it go?
If you responded, and I would say
Not a chance.
all right, this is a fiction. This is a scenario, everybody. All right, so if Nate responded, say, to the ad, I would set up a time where we can have a Zoom chat.
And maybe this is good for future
Yeah.
projects and people who might have been on the fence.
Sure.
Shouldn't I? I don't know how it goes.
We would message on Facebook. We would set up a time for a Zoom call. I would ask for your email so I can send you a copy of maybe one script and the part I think they would be right to play. And then we can do a little Q&A about what you think of the script. Do you have any questions about it? Any confusions? Yeah. And then do a bit of a read through, and they can talk about how they see the character, like their approach to it, because
it's open for interpretation.
Oh yeah, and that's also the sign of a good director or a good writer, is that this is a collaborative art.
Man,
It's
word was just bouncing
collaborative
around.
art.
Yeah.
Because if I just wanted to write by myself, I would just write diaries all day.
Okay.
But a lot of times, an actor would have a much better idea than what you originally came up with. Most famous example is, I'm sure you saw Goodfellas, right?
Of course.
Okay, that scene where Joe Pesci's like, "How am I funny? You think
Yeah.
That was all improvised. He wrote that himself.
No shit.
He just said,
that's one of the memorable.
He just said,
most often quoted.
"Marty, I have an idea. Can I do it? Can I do it? Yes, I trust you." And that's what happened.
Funny what? Like a clown?
Yes,
like I make
that
you
was
laugh?
all Joe Pesci.
Oh, fuck. That's really.
And he said to all the other actors, he didn't warn them what Joe Pesci's going to say. He just said to Ray Liotta, "You improvise with Joe," and the other guys just react. So they're genuine reactions because they had no idea what he was going to say.
Wow.
I wonder how much in regular screenplays, how much is improvised.
Depends on the actor and the director.
And how
depends,
much you have to stick to the script.
Again, like as he said, depends on the actor and the director. Some are so free and they say, like, yeah, do whatever. Just keep the theme or the tone. That's all. Others are quite rigid. Like, don't even change punctuation. Yeah,
sure.
It all depends on who it is.
Yeah.
I don't know what your ad was when you put it out or whatever, but I would contact you and ask, what are the characters?
Well, yeah, you would.
You said you'd recommend a character for him. You don't even know who I am.
Well, I would. I can't remember what I said in the ad because that was a while ago. But we would talk, and based on our conversation, I get a personal feel of like who would be right for what. Because there were some actors I thought, oh, so-and-so would be perfect for this. Because they just somehow matched, how I envision a certain character.
Right.
And you might be writing with certain people you know in mind too, right?
Well, exactly. Because you always hear all the time guys who write scripts, they have a certain actor, and like, oh, I'm imagining, an Arnold Schwarzenegger type, or a Nate type, or whatever,
So did you approach anyone, or was it all just people responding to your...
It was all people responding. As I said, I posted it. Yeah. Everything was cast in 15 minutes.
Do you record together with everyone? Does everyone record together, or is it their individual parts?
All separate.
Really?
All separate.
So they're not working off each other. They're just going in.
They're going in just by themselves, and they would just react from me reading another person's part.
Okay, so you're there while they're recording.
I'm there because I have to direct also, and give a note, and we have to do X number of takes for certain parts.
Intonation.
Cool. Where did you end up recording?
We recorded in Andy's academy.
He could set up his
because he had a room, a classroom, and equipment there. So that's where all the magic happened.
Interesting. He's quite the audio.
Total rock star. He's the editor, he's the sound guy, and our musician. Because that's another thing with great Ulsan talent. All the music is just original.
Yeah, man, he's slowly killing it behind the scenes. That guy. He came on here to talk about the Mad Kiwi. I don't think he mentioned playing guitar or anything once. And the guy's just absolutely a rock star, isn't he? You said he did the sound effects as well.
The sound effects, the editing, and the music.
So for that, you just set up a schedule and say, guys, go in this week, and he's waiting for you?
Well, yeah, I set up once everybody was cast and, we got our location, I just looked at my calendar and I made an estimation about how long it would take to record everybody. Because that was another thing, too. I made a separate group page on Facebook because I don't know everyone's work schedule. So I was like, all right, everybody send me your hours of availability. When can you work? When can't you work? And that's where I would figure out a schedule.
Cool.
This is all just passion project for these people, right? I mean, there's no money involved. This is just straight. They love to participate.
No, I offered compensation and food and beverages. Yeah.
Sweet.
So this is a professional production.
Nate's
this
getting
is soju and peanuts. This is
real deal.
Corn on my pizza.
No. Because you read well, I'll give you a few extra kernels. There you go.
This is the real deal then.
This is the real deal.
Well, tell us more about it then. What's the budget? How do you know? How do you know what to give? How professional is it? How do you?
Well, a lot of it had to do with for research in my independent study because my professor did an audio drama. I would ask him like, what's an appropriate budget? How much for actors? The blah 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 blah. And so I learned from that. That's how then I can get a figure of.
In Korea, it's 1/4 of that. So divided by 4.
Carry a 1. Da, 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 da.
Oh, cool, man. That's awesome. Hopes and wishes for the audio drama. I know it's going to go. It'll be out next week, I believe.
Yeah, we'll have an audio trailer drop sometime this week.
Okay.
And the first episode, or maybe first 2 episodes, should be next week.
Okay. Who did the art?
The art. This image was again Ulsan talent, Ben Slater.
No shit. Oh, this is What it meant really cool.
So this image you see, that's Ben Slater.
What about the video?
Mid-Journey?
What about the video editing for?
You mean like the squiggly line?
Yes,
yes. That's all Andy.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful.
And music also all Andy.
Really nice, man. Obviously, you hope it blows up on YouTube.
Or a podcast hosting site. I mean, I'm happy if people are going to listen to it. The main thing is just to get it out there.
Are you doing YouTube regular YouTube, or do you do YouTube podcast?
I'm just doing, well, right now I just have regular YouTube just for the trailers. And then I'm going to put the episodes on a podcast hosting site and, spread from there.
Cool. Do you have any idea what you're going to do for, excuse me, you'll have the YouTube video. Is it just going to be your Invaders logo with audio?
It might be that or something else. I have to wait and see. But yeah, there's not going to be any images of the actors recording or anything. But there'll be some sort of image.
You said they're all recording separately. Did you guys do even one rehearsal all together, or no? It's all completely separate?
It depends on the person. Like some actors needed a read through before we started, and some others were like, nope, ready to go.
Really?
But I mean, did you practice once all together or no?
All together? No.
Wow, that's incredible, man. Compared to 20, 30 years ago, how much you can do now and how you can just piece it all together. Can you tell us a little bit about the local talent?
Sure. Well, we already talked about Andy right there. I will say our lead actor is our very own Patrick Robbins, and he gives an incredible performance as Travis, our podcaster.
Nice. The owner of the hottest bar in town, now going to be on the hottest audio drama as well.
That's fantastic. Right. You got a total rock star right here. Total rock star.
And are there any other JJ's patrons in this, or is it kind of do you have any engineers' wives or
no engineers' wives?
Or just random?
Everybody there's an English teacher.
Okay.
Cool. So a cast of English teachers.
Cool. And how many maybe nationalities represented is it?
Let's see, because there's obviously there's American, there's South African, English, and hold on,
Wizard of Niz.
I'm trying to think what other nationality. I think it was just American, English, South African for the cast.
Cool. That's what I was curious when you said the phone blew up when you put the call out. I was wondering if that's a whole bunch of people, or because I think also, foreign laborers, international students, these guys also have all these talents, but they don't have any platform or any way to get involved, to express whatever. So it doesn't surprise me that it's mostly or all teachers, but I think every community probably has this group of
of course
of artists and creators, right? And it's
absolutely.
It would. I would love to see that one that Patrick was in before, the industrial theater troupe, come back and do stuff, because it really brought a lot of different people together. And like you say, he's here to study, you're here to teach, you're here for your husband's working in Hyundai, but everybo's got all these different talents. So Patrick, anybody else we know? Let's
see. There's Patrick. There's Sam Pett is in there. There's Will. What's his last name? Soren. I think he's a
Eunice guy?
Huh?
Old Eunice guy? Tall British?
No, tall guy, not British. Tall American guy, young guy. Okay. He plays our Gen Z tech assistant, and he gave a great comedic performance.
Did you encounter any big surprises or hurdles that you had to overcome that your school or your teacher specifically didn't warn you about? And how did you deal with it?
You mean for preparing the whole audio drama?
Yeah,
that.
Any unforeseen?
No, just
pretty smooth.
Yeah, it was mostly smooth. The only hurdle I can think of is just estimating time. But I planned 5 weeks of recording, and it just went a week over. That was really it.
That's not bad at all.
It was pretty smooth. Great cast, great crew. No drama except the story.
Nice.
So happy days. It was overall an overwhelmingly pleasant experience.
Awesome.
It's done and dusted now. You're ready.
So
to go?
all recording of actors done. Okay. That's all done, and post-production is for the most part done also. Okay. So we're this close. Well, no one can see me, but visualize my fingers. But visualize my fingers almost touching. We are this close to the finish line, bringing it out to the world.
What in terms of this is your first professional production?
Yes.
What would you change or do differently next time? You must have learned a lot of things along the way. Obviously not a full-length movie, but a short, smaller project that's manageable. What did you learn from this project that maybe you can use carrying forward, and what things would you do differently?
Let's see. I would maybe make some adjustments of like what kind of sound effects to use, because we found that some sounds were not easy to replicate. You know, I mean, things like car doors slamming, honking, footsteps, that's fine. Yeah. But maybe like sound of guy like banging his fist on a steering wheel was like, it's hard to find on the internet.
Sure.
You'd have to like go out and actually record somebody, just, you know, give it a steering wheel a beating.
See,
I can do that for you if I get my name in the credits.
Hey, there you go. $5.
Steering wheel beater, Nate.
Steering wheel beater.
Acting debut.
Tag him as Chris Brown. What I found doing the editing the story narrations is that a lot of times you can find, you know, for a steering wheel beating, if someone knows like how do you say? I use sound effects with other names, so like you might be able to use like a footstep. Instead of that. Okay. Do you know what I mean? Like
an alternative for that sort of thing.
Yeah, like I can't remember.
We found a lot for other things, because some things were easy to find alternatives for. Others were like, I think we have to delete this one. You know, they'll get the point. You know?
That sounds like a footstep, not beating the steering wheel.
That's right.
Okay, gotcha.
A lot of that coming up.
Is that guy beating the steering wheel or walking down the street?
So what? He's beating something.
Use your imagination.
Yeah. He's beating the steering wheel.
So sound effects. What else did you? I mean, in terms of organization and planning and timelines and how much you're paying and all that stuff would be also a success as the recording and everything was, or would you change
all that stuff was fine. Just, you know, the making a schedule, compensation, stuff like that's fine. I mean, as I said, the only things I would really change would be like some sound stuff, or I would make some projects with fewer characters, for example. Like instead of 9 characters total, I might do 4 next time.
Yep.
Yeah. So like you just reduce the cast size.
Simplify it.
Yeah. I mean, that is something I would change.
I think too, talking about the new technology and whatnot, there's like I've seen the Rode. Oh, like our mics here. Mm-hmm. Same company. They have stuff that you can just plug into your phone, and you can go beat your steering wheel all day and get a quality sound out of it. Right?
I don't need to go to work. I am working.
Yeah. It's just in your neighbor's car, just smashing it. Did you have lots of notes for Andy after, I don't want to make it sound like you're harping on him or anything, but did you have lots of control after? We're like, take that out, put that in. Was there lots of changes you felt you had to make?
Oh, well, it was a collaborative process. So we would talk about together, like, what works, what we should add, or as I said earlier, recording, I might change a line of dialogue that day. Like, this doesn't work. Let me rewrite it and change it to this one.
Sure.
Sorry, how long is each episode?
Between 10 to 13 minutes long.
And how long would you guys spend on the post-recording editing?
The post-recording, you're going to have to ask Andy that, how long he spent. But the actual recording would be like, if we get one actor to read, let's say, episode 1, our recording session might be like, let's say it's a 12-page script. We have one actor in. That whole recording session might last like 3 hours or more than 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
For 9 guys, 6 episodes.
Well,
that's a lot of time.
Well, that took about total like 6 weeks to get everybody recorded.
Yeah. But I mean, so once that's finished, but you must have had an idea, like Brian was saying, take this out, put this in. How much time did you guys spend weeks doing that?
Well,
6 weeks total. Huh?
Yeah, 6 weeks total, just of actual recording, like mic rolling action. Like the actual production was like 6 weeks.
But Andy stitching it all together and...
Yeah, because that's something I didn't know was like how long post-production, does. Because that's not my area of expertise, editing. So that's, again, something new for me and something I should learn more about is learn more editing or like how to do it and like how much work's involved.
Are characters sitting down or standing up when they're
standing up.
Yeah.
So he has a mic placed placed up, and everyone's like standing behind a line and reading a script that's on a stand.
Okay.
In
At
front,
eye level.
At eye level, and then they just do their thing while standing.
Do you did you shoot any like production video that you'll have in the trailer, or like behind the scenes stuff, or is it?
No, we didn't do any of that. I was too like hyper focused on like watching everybody's performance.
Oh, it's fantastic, dude. I love it. I absolutely.
Oh,
love
me
it.
too. It's absolute blast to make. Absolute blast. And when you like leave the recording, you have such a rush and feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
man.
wow, we did something. That's just great.
It came from my brain.
This came out of my brain. Really?
I
Holy
love
crap!
that you highlight all the locals, and I mean, I think in any community you can find a group of people to do these kind of things. You just got to get out there and find.
Not at this caliber.
But
this is a special place.
Yeah.
But I also love that the people have the passion to put themselves out there. I mean, not everybody's used to doing this, or for some people it's probably first time.
Well, that's right. There were some that were like that. Like, I've never done audio drama before, because we had a range of people who've never acted before to like, oh, I've done stage productions before.
Right.
So yeah, just a wide array of backgrounds.
How do you mentor or coach those guys that have no experience?
Well,
Just be yourself.
Harsh
or?
criticisms.
it's like toss them out the window.
You're fired.
No, just what a good director would do would be they wouldn't say something like be more angry or something. They would say something like, hey, did your boyfriend do something that pissed you off recently? How did you feel?
Okay.
Like, pretend he's doing that right now.
Yeah.
Or if something smells like or somebody,
Tony, you son of a bitch.
or for example, a character goes in the room and they have to react to a bad smell, but they didn't know how to react. Just give them a note of what's something that makes you puke, this type of food. And I would just say, pretend that food is splattered all over the walls and getting down your shirt and everything. And that you get the perfect response from that.
Okay.
So just give them like make-believe like scenarios. And that's what a lot of those like film courage videos would say. Like that's a sign of good directing. And then because it gives the actors a chance to use their imagination, and it just comes out more organically.
Nice.
Then like be more angry, sound happier, be more handsome.
Yeah, sure.
Be more handsome. How was the overall experience of directing for the first time?
Oh, that's also where part of the rush, came in, and that's something I'm going to do the next time I do an audio drama. I'm going to direct again, and hopefully they'll slowly evolve to doing maybe a short stage piece, a short film, and then to finally something feature length or full length.
Nice. Bong Joon-ho, if you're listening.
That's right. Please give me a call or an email. Something.
We'll tag him in this.
There you go.
Nice. And coming up next year, you said you're going to do a rewrite for your thing.
That's what I hope.
Hold on a second. Does that mean delete and start again?
Yeah, that's what it means. Yes, delete and start again. That's a rewrite right there. Delete and start again. But I actually, before I do that, maybe it won't be this year. I have some other projects I want to do.
I can see that just getting pushed down the line till like you're 80. Oh Lord, I'm going to delete these 98 pages. Hold on a sec. You're going to be messaging me in 5 days, like, Brad, do you want to send me that? Send me that link that I sent you.
I forgot what happened at page 5. Who's my protagonist? I totally blanked. But no, I have like some other projects I want to work on like beforehand before I do a rewrite in this.
What are they?
Well, I have two projects I want to focus on for 2024. One of them is a full-length stage play, because I've never done that before. That's a big writing challenge. And the other one is an entirely new feature-length screenplay.
Nice.
So those are my two big writing goals for 2024.
Full-length stage play. Any idea what?
Yes.
Are you permanently in the horror genre, or are you open to?
It's gonna be a rom-com.
That's actually what one of my instructors said. She said, "Zach, I want to see you write a rom-com one day." And I was like, "Yes, of course." But no, that's more my wheelhouse. I mean, I will dip my toes in other genres like science fiction, for example, or thrillers, or like action-based stuff. But Actually, in Point Park, my first one of my first writing classes, I actually wrote a 10-minute stage play that was a relationship drama. You know,
No way.
between it was a 2-character play between a husband and a wife.
Does he slash her up after?
No. But somebody's coming over to slash him up. So
Okay.
gambling
Final
depths, you know.
Full length stage play. So that's what, hour or something?
Full-length stage play would be about, I think, 80 to 90 pages. So that range, how long that translates to the stage, all depends on the actors and the director.
And so the goal is to write that.
To write that, a first draft, yes.
Write a first draft. And the other one was what?
Full-length screenplay, yes.
Like
Kind of like this,
the other one.
Blood Apartment.
Blood Apartment, Blood Farm.
Blood Farm.
So
Is that what it is?
No.
Oh, okay.
so there won't probably be anything coming out, but you'll be working behind the scenes.
Right. It'll be mostly behind the scenes stuff, just like developing stuff, and it could be next year. But I also have an idea for a new audio drama, also this time like an anthology type series, like Tales from the Crypt or Twilight Zone.
Anthology one-offs.
Yeah, just all one-offs. That's right.
Fantastic. Dude, that's awesome.
When you have you finish this, it comes out, and the actors are saying, "Come on, let's go, let's do the next one, let's go, buddy." Does that bring it up on the list of priorities, or is it, "Hey guys, this was just I just had fun doing this, but I got some other stuff to take care of," or "Wow, these guys are really really into it. Let's crush some."
I'll have to wait and see what happens once all the episodes drop. My mind could change. I could be like, all right, this will be first in line. Then I'll do the stage play idea afterwards.
And you can't rush creativity either, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. My brain can only go so fast.
Nothing will destroy a story like putting a hard deadline on it.
This is where
I gotta write it by January
Bali
8th.
Bali is not a good idea.
Sure. Take your time.
Do you think the oyster shucking lemon butter is going to make it in the next story?
It should. It should make a cameo at the very least. The lemon shucker slasher. Stay tuned.
Listen, man, a mind virus infects the people in the restaurant. Everyone has a knife already, and it just there you go.
I was gonna say, sitting there, we all had our knives
Did
there.
you watch the Netflix TV show Santa Clarita Diet?
No.
Have you heard of it at least?
No.
Okay. I think it finished back in 2019. So, this was a great twist on the zombie genre.
Okay.
All right. Here was the fresh spin they had. People became zombies because they ate bad seafood. The food poisoning activated something in their cells and made them crave human flesh.
I like it, man.
I'm like, okay, that's different. I haven't seen something like that.
Damn, I'm reinventing the wheel here.
There you go.
Need
There you go. Again, that's the main thing for all writers out there. What's something fresh you can add to something that's already established?
lemon garlic butter.
Bingo.
There it is.
There you go.
That'll be the serum to bring you back.
That's right.
Give me 300 cc's of lemon garlic butter.
Okay, Like, pop it, put it in my veins.
No. We take homage from The Rock. Right in your heart. You've seen The Rock.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Yeah.
For
Right my heart.
For this Invaders audio drama, can you submit it to? I just again think of Ryan Estrada, and he's always involved with the Busan Film Festival in one way or another, and shorts and super shorts and whatever. Is there any local platforms or contests or stuff in Korea that you could submit it to?
I would have to look into it because I don't know about the audio drama things. I know they have submission opportunities for if you write short stories, but I don't know about audio drama. That's something I have to do a Google search on.
Because I want to say Estrada did some stuff with BFM or something. Didn't he do a couple
That's what I was saying earlier. Yeah, he used to do. I think it was Shakespeare or something. But Shakespeare
that's the radio station, the Busan radio station.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's a we like to bring the Busan guys over here, but I've inquired about sending a few non-Busan people to the interviews in the stations there and stuff, and I think spread out the love a little bit. And
that's a good idea. Yeah, just put it on there. That's another idea.
The Genghis Khan of modern Korea.
There you go.
Spreading everything here and there.
There you go. Steering wheel beater and Genghis Khan.
Yeah.
What range?
Anyways. Dude, anything else you want to add?
Let's see. So yeah, that's coming out soon. January, The Invaders, all 6 episodes.
At once? Are you going to make me wait?
Oh no, not all at once.
Weeks between?
Week at a time.
You son of a gun.
Week at a time.
I want it now. I want it all now.
My life is Netflix. I want it now.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Splatterday Morning Productions on YouTube, Instagram, ZMFA Writer.
ZMFA writer. Yes.
ZMFA. What did I say? Zed?
Zed.
Is that Canadian?
I thought that was English, like British.
Yeah,
Zed?
that's kind of Canadian too.
Or is it Canadian too? Okay.
So that's what they say in Nevada, isn't it?
No, Z. Nevada. No.
I say World War Z, but I wouldn't say.
World War Z. Yeah.
I said ZMFA Writer. Damn it. I'm on the fence. I live on the border.
Oh, there we go. Well, you are from Niagara Falls. Makes sense. I got one toe in America, one toe in Canada.
That's it.
That's
what's
my
a
life.
gutter? What's a gutter?
A gutter?
Yeah, like around your house. What would you call a gutter?
You mean like where rain and like leaves go in? Like a rain gutter? Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
East trough.
east trough. Yeah, we call it an
We
east
call
trough.
it a gutter too.
Yeah, rain gutter.
We call it a
yeah.
gutter too. We call it an east trough. Gutter is like in the road. That's it.
East trough, yeah. Yeah, both of those.
You call it an east trough ever?
No, gutter.
Damn. What's in the road? Also a gutter? Like between the curb and the.
Oh yeah, because you have like the gutter and the roof that collects like rainwater and leaves, and then you have the gutters on the ground.
It's a difference between us.
Yeah, difference. So similar yet so different.
Oh man, good times. Anyways, that is it. Nate, anything else?
No.
Fantastic.
Good.
Happy
Thanks
New
a lot,
Year,
man. Love
Dude,
it.
Happy New Year, everybody.
2024 going to be an awesome one for everyone. Blue Dragon.
Hope 2024 is an awesome year for everybody.
Yes.
No stress, positivity all around.
Yeah. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
Bye bye.